Sorry. Pens.
So 20 minutes, just
Sorry, this one.
come back and hit that red button.
That's all I have to do.
That's all you got to do.
Start. Mình bắt đầu ha. I'm gonna pray. Father, thank you so much for this time that we're able to sit together to learn something. We want to serve you and we want to serve effectively. So help us. Help me also. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So surprised to see all my babies are here. Yes. If you and my babies stand up, please. All my babies. Okay, one, two, hold on to you. Thank you. I call her baby because when her mom, I know them when they were very little, and Joyce too went to visit when her mom just came from Super. And I was so surprised to see them here. So I tell you that I'm very, 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 very old.
Old and beautiful.
Thank you. That's how. Thank you. Anyway, how many of you eat phở? Like phở? Bún bò Huế? That means I don't have to speak English. I don't have to speak English. Vì như là ăn phở rồi thì ăn bún bò là nói tiếng Việt. Some of them don't eat nước mắm, that's why I don't hỏi nước mắm. Rồi I hỏi bánh bún bò với lại phở là đủ rồi, hai cái đó là đủ nói tiếng Việt rồi. Ăn nước mắm đó thì nói tiếng Việt giỏi hơn. Yeah. Okay, thank you for having me. So bữa nay tôi nói tiếng Việt được phải không? Yes? Good. Okay, I'm sorry. But forgive my English. If you don't understand me, feel free to ask, what does that mean? Okay? I'm working with the children, so my English is for that level. I cannot speak higher for them because I work with preschool. Right? So I have to speak their language in order for them to understand me. Right? So I will, if I speak that language, please forgive me and help me. Anyway, the Bible verse, Proverbs 22:6. Who remember that Bible verse? I didn't write it in there. Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child the way he should go. Is that Bible verse just for the parents or for everybody?
Everyone.
Yeah. So I will based on that one. Yes. To me, train a child. So discipline. I think we all misunderstand. All the parents use the word discipline, misuse the word discipline. So every time you hear the word discipline, what do you think of? Rồi, cái rồi, yeah. Mì gói. Mì gói. Every time you heard the word discipline, you think of punish. But is that two words the same?
No.
No. That's why I have the definition in here. So please look at that. What is discipline? But you see, if you use the word discipline in the verb term, is to punish someone as a way of making sure that rules or order are obeyed. So discipline have the part of punish too. It's not, discipline is punish, it's not. But part of discipline is to punish in order to make sure the rules are followed or obeyed. That's where the punish comes in. But our parents just do punish and that's it. They don't train. So we're going to learn more. But the second part of the discipline used as a verb is to train yourself to do something by controlling your behavior. So And you discipline yourself is different than you discipline somebody else or something. So you have to think about that. Do we discipline ourselves?
Yes.
Very hard. Very hard to control yourself. Okay, that's one thing. But if the word discipline used as a noun, see, what does that mean? Discipline is practice of training people to obey rules or code of behavior using punishment to correct disobedience. So you see the word here, discipline is to train people, to train, to teach, to instruct. Usually we forget this side of the word discipline. I'm a teacher. I was a teacher when I was in Vietnam. Before I came here, I was the principal of elementary school in Vietnam already. So the discipline in Vietnam and the discipline over here is what? Totally different. And when I came here, I went back to school to learn how to be a teacher. Then it's two different things. Two different things. But I learned a lot in here to discipline the class. So when you discipline somebody, it means you have to train them. You have to train them. We'll talk more about how. So remember from now on, if you have to discipline somebody, you have to remember that not punishing that person, but to train that person first. We have to give them the doubt that maybe they don't know. That's why they act that way. We haven't trained them yet. We haven't made the rules clear, or we haven't teach them yet. That's why they act that way. But when you train them, then they will know the rules, they know exactly, so clear, then they will not act that way. So in the classroom, that's what we want to see. So the root of the word discipline is, we know all this already. Do you know? The root of the word discipline is disciple. Disciple. So where do you see, or where do you hear the word disciple? In the Bible. Yes. How many disciples that Jesus had? How many?
12.
How many? 12. So, what did they do? The 12 disciples. What did they do? They followed Jesus everywhere. So what did Jesus do? He did teach them, train them. By the way, he walked, taught, he learned. So they learned from him. So that's why we call them disciples. And then from there they were disciplined. So you have to train. To train. Jesus trained his disciples, and when he went back to heaven, the disciples continued to run out and train other people and pass the gospel. Okay. So now we see discipline. What about punish? What is punish? I know everybody, you don't have to look at the dictionary, you know what punish is. What is punish to you? Have you been punished? Many times. Okay. Different ways. But when you've been punished, what do you think? Or what you feel first? What is
Pain,
pain, suffer. That's right. So the first word here is to make someone suffer. So when your parent punish you, do they really want you to be suffer? I don't think so. But at that moment, we think that way. We thought, oh, they want to make us suffer. They really, So you get angry at your parents. But if you understand why they do it, why they punish you, because they want to do what? For a crime or bad behavior. Because you did something bad, they have to make you suffer from it. If they don't make you suffer from it, you don't learn or you don't remember. The second meaning is to treat something or someone severely or roughly. So to make someone suffer or you treat somebody, so that's punish. That's the verb sound. Everybody experience punish, to suffer, so you know. But do you remember, after your parent punished you because you're doing something, did you remember that you're not doing it again? You remember the suffer, but the second part I do not repeat it. Have you repeated? Sometimes. Why? You want to suffer again?
Suffering wasn't that bad yet.
Was it that bad yet? Oh, severely? I'll tell you. Now you, anyway, so is that punishment that way help or work? If you think, compare the percentage, which way do you think? If you make somebody severely hurt because they did something bad, and then another, well, another side to discipline that person. If they did something bad, you discipline them, you train them, so which way better? Discipline is better because you, remember, you, on the discipline way, you, what is the noun? Punish the noun. You use, if they don't obey the rules, you still punishment and correct them too. But in a way, you have to train them. So in discipline, if they did something bad, if they don't follow the rules, you also discipline them in order for them to follow the rules. But at the same time, you explain the rule, you train them how to follow the rules or how to do that.
So it's like short term, you punish in a way that have to learn, but then in the long term, you discipline them, train them.
Yes, yes. You do discipline them, but you train them, and so they will not repeat to make mistake again. You punish them, okay, you give them 10 spank, and that was it, you didn't say anything. When they, like, let's say if they disobey you to do something, you curfew at 9 o'clock, they have to come home, they didn't come home, so what do? You parent, you give them a whip, hit them, and that was it. Next time, it's only 10. I'll go late again. They didn't think of why the parent didn't want you to come home late. What is the bad side of that or whatever? They didn't think of that way. They just said, oh, because I'm late, I get the whip. That's it. But if you explain it to them, why? Why do you don't want them to go home late? What is the danger outside or whatever you want to teach them, to train them? When they understand that, they will not want to repeat the mistake of the fault again. But if you just with them, punish them and don't explain. I teach children from, right now I'm teaching, I'm retired right now, but I'm still come back to school to do some consulting for the teachers. But I ask them, or I see the way they discipline the kid. We use the word discipline in the school because we cannot whip them, we cannot hit them, we cannot use bad word on them. But you discipline them by explain many, many times. Why can't they do that? We have to explain it to the 4 and 5 years old or 2 or 3 years old. Is that hard or easy? It's quite hard. Right? They're like they hit somebody. To them, you take my toy, I hit you. But the rule in this school is cannot hit your friend. How do you explain that to them? How do you train them not to hit? Right? You can punish them by, so I have a kid that always hit the kid. And then he's so happy because he can hit somebody to get his phone. Doesn't matter how many I explained to him, he did not stop. So one time I decided, I think maybe against the rule, but I decided to do it. I said, now, hit yourself then. He looked at me and said, yeah, hit yourself. And then he said, I said, no, that's not. Harder. Harder. Until he looked at me and said, it hurt. I said, that's right. You hit somebody, they hurt. You don't feel it. That's why you keep hitting them. And after that, he understands. Can hit the friend because they make his friend hurt. And he likes his friend. I don't want his friend hurt. See, that's the way you train them, explain it to them. And then he stopped. And then sometimes he's ready to hit and he said, it hurt. Okay. Yeah, that training, that's discipline. So, that's what it is. Okay, any question before I go further? So far you understand what I'm saying, right? Okay, so what is your job in the class? How many of you are the Sunday school teacher here? Thank you for the kids. Yes. How many of you are helper? So you all of you are teachers. Okay. So my question here is that out of line? What is your job in the class? You're a Sunday school teacher. That's the answer. But what is your job? To what?
To teach.
To teach. What else? Huh? To model, yes. What else?
To show love.
To show love and to train. To train the kid. To train the kid. The Bible verse, train up the kid. They're not your own kids, they're church kids, but you know what? Sunday school teachers' roles is very important. It's very important. I think a lot of things the parent cannot teach the kid. They leave it to you. You believe that?
Yes.
Yes? Because I heard some kid. I give you a very funny example. In my Sunday school class right now, I have 7 kids, and 7 levels. In a small church, that's what it is. From 2 years old to 12 years old. I have 7 kids and 7 levels. How can I manage that class? All by myself. It's very, very hard. Sometimes I said, I'm good. Okay. 7 kids. Okay, but 7 levels. That's not a good one because you cannot divide them up, nobody help. But then anyway, in the church you have to divide in, according to their age and everything. But I give you an example. So the little boy, this one Sunday, the mom came to me and said, my son, he only 3 years old. My son colored out of line. And I told him, I said, it's ugly. You have to color inside, the Bible story with the coloring picture. So I have him color that picture, of course. He take it home. And she came to me and she said, my son colored so ugly, it's out of the line. And she said, when I told my son that, and he looked at me and said, no. Miss Ruth say, I call, Ba Mục Sư, he called me Ba Mục Sư. Ba Mục Sư said, I call very pretty. So she wanted to run me. He believed in my word. Because I built a relationship with him. He believed my word. When the mom said, no, it's ugly, he said, no, Ba Mục Sư said, I like it very pretty. Then I said, yes. I did say he colored pretty. Because he's only 3. You will not color that way, but he colored that way. That's his level. And I have to praise him because he put that all the time and effort to color that. Even though out of line, but that's his job. And my job is to command him to say it. Then the next Sunday, again, he colored the picture. At this time, try to keep inside the line. This time he tried so hard to keep inside the line. And as soon as I saw that, you imagine I have different levels in my class, but when I saw it, right away I praised him. I said, Lucas, this time you try so hard to keep inside the line. Keep the good. I can encourage him right away at that moment. He looked at me and said, thank you, Mom. Only 3 years old. So, discipline, punish, encourage. So what is your job? Your job is to train, to encourage, to teach, to build a relationship with that kid. some kids never have relationship with the parent, but with the Sunday school teacher, they trusted you, and they can talk to you in different levels, like spiritual or home at home. So build that relationship with them. So your job at the school, so you know what your job is. And I like the word that you are the educator, not a dictator. Educator is totally the dictator. Dictator can keep the classroom quiet. Okay, you walk in and your voice very high. Everybody quiet. Are they quiet? Oh, there she go again. Because they will complain. But how can you build a relationship with them that as soon as you walk in, they know who you are, they know what you expect, and you know what they know what are you going to do with them in that 45 minutes. You have to build that, and then so you can just. I use my class again because I said my class. It's not a Sunday school class, but when the pastor preached. So the second part of the service, when the pastor preaching, I teach that class because I want the parent to listen to the sermon. So I took that part and teach them. So of course, the room is a mess, messy because they play ahead of time. When I walk in, I cannot even walk inside the room. So I said, okay, help me clean up. So first they help me clean up. First week, second week, third week. And so I start organizing it and teach them how to clean up. So day in and day out. And one day, I was like last month, I walked in, it was so clean. And my normal use, I walk in and said, help, Mom, to clean up. And they said, all clean. I was surprised. I was so surprised because my routine, as soon as I walk in, I say, clean up, right? And then they look at me and say, they're all clean. I said, wow, surprised. Because I work with them many weeks, demonstrate and teach them. Okay, this is, I have the train. All the Legos come, all the cars go here, the train goes up. I did it with them. I clean up with them, whip in, get in and whip out. And at one moment at a time, they said, oh, they hear that song. That's been after the song of the offering. Okay, they know. Almost time for me to come in. It's about that time they start cleaning up. And then they know, after that song, after the offering, I will be in. You know, because the first part I did the job. So, that's your job. To train, to teach. So you have to know what is your job in the class. Not just to teach the Bible. You come in and just teach the Bible from the beginning up to the end. You think they'll get it? Maybe not. My class, until what time, Robson? I forgot. Until somebody help me keep time.
11:30, 11:15. Somebody has a long time.
Now,
45 minutes.
oh, okay, good. So somebody keeps time so I can stop. Because when I talk, I cannot stop. Okay. Any question? Are you a babysitter in the classroom? That's my question. Yes, sorry.
What would you say about the importance of routine? You mentioned that they heard the song
Yes,
and then they responded
Yes.
accordingly.
yes. The routine in the class is very, very important. Yes, the routine. That's why you can talk about, okay, that's good you asked me now, then I don't have to say later how to manage the classroom. Yes, routining with the kids at that time, at that age, this age, is very important. Even us too. We are the creature of routine. Do you believe that? Yes, we have routine. So with kids too, we have to teach them, and that all that thing is the cue for them to know what's going next. That's how you avoid a lot of discipline or punish, because they know, oh, it's time. Then they automatically, because one time they don't know, but 10 times they will know exactly. So when I teach that class, because next to the sanctuary too, when they hear our Muksu and the church sing the Đông Vinh Chân Thần doxology, they know. Time to clean up, time to go out. They will very fast. They will close their book and everything because I heard that song. in the classroom, you, the teacher, you set up the routine, set up the rules, and they know. And the rules here, I want to mention one thing, that if possible, you make the rules with them. Then they will agree with you, and they will keep it, because the rules they make, they will keep it. I have 3 kids. I have three boys. The oldest one is Andrew. Pastor Andrew is my oldest son. David and Jonathan. I have 3 boys. So I learned this. I make rules with them, and they sign it. They sign it. And then once in a while, you will, how you call that, renew or you change the rules as they grow older. Of course, rules have to be different. Yeah, update. Yeah, to update. Because when they were young, the limit is this much. But when they're older, I have to open the limit, right? I cannot keep the same rules. No. So with my own kids and with the classroom, I have rules with them. And believe it, 3 years old, 4 years old, I take out the paper. Yes.
Then for us in a preschool class where we have the same age every year, would you recommend that we create rules with the children once a year as the class changes?
Yes. And also you can revise it, or you can remind them, because they don't remember. This age, they don't remember. So you have to repeat and repeat. Maybe every Sunday before you start your class, you remind them the rules. Okay, what do we do? You ask them. They will answer you. Okay, like I walk into the room, so okay, I'll tell them what that we're going to do. Okay, today we're going to learn something, we're going to do this and do that, or we're going to make cards. So I tell them ahead of time what we're going to do that day. So, and then the rules is, if they play, they have to put it away. If they're trash, you know what to put. So you go through that little rule with him. 2, 3 years old, what is the rule? Okay? So with the preschool, I took out a piece of paper, and they don't write, they don't read. Remember that. But I do write and read, but I write it down. Okay, so rule number 1, when you want to talk, when you ask questions, raise your hand. So that's rule number 1. Rule number 2, talk instead of hating. You know, you want something, you ask your friend, you ask instead of hit. So like a few rules, 2, 3 rules. So I write it down. Okay. Once in a while, I pull it out. What is our rules? Okay, don't hit. Okay, they will say it too. So remind them. That keeps them alive. And then if they start, you prevent it. You see something that somebody just about to do something, and you will say, what is the rule number 1? Everybody else will remind that child. You know? So we just have, but we don't have to, after you fix it for a while, they know they will not. They will not. You know. Because the kid at this age, they want to please you. They want to please you. You know, so then. So your mouth, your words, your words with them. I use the word small talks. You know, small talk. Even though you have 20 of them, but you see somebody in your eye, in the corner of your eye, you see somebody did something good, sharing. I see you see it. Right away you notice. So that child very happy, and he wants to do it again. Or somebody just about to take something, or you see it, you will say, okay, ask. Instead of taking, you say, ask, you know, right away you talk to him. And now instead of yanking, he will ask. So your eyes have to be very, very, it's not alert. I use the word alert, but you have to see everything. Yeah. So your position when in the classroom is very important too. You sit where you can see everybody and everything. Okay.
Mom, sir.
Yes?
Question. For raise the case, I'm used to be a Sunday school teacher, but I'm a mom too. So I know my students at school, at church, they like me because I can see that they're far away from me. When I got into church, they say, hi, Colin, even though far away, they still call me. So in class, I always encourage them, even though I see that they color the she said color back. I still encourage them because I made Sunday school like a good play, like joyful play for them to come Sunday like that. But for my son, I had two Sunday totally opposite. One very good at art, color so beautiful, and one I gave him the picture, he just make black like that, and the teacher complained too. So I be honest with him. So I tell him like, oh, your picture is so ugly. You need to see the sharp, because the teacher give him the shape of an animal, but he just circle like that and doesn't come out the shape of animal. So I correct him and tell him the truth. So I think like encourage kids, but need to tell them the truth, because when they're growing up and then they know what is the truth, what is the people just praise them but don't tell them the truth. So
That's good. That's a good point. How old is your son, the one that circle like that?
He from kindergarten until now. The art teacher always complain. He 11 years old now.
He's not an artist. That's true. Yeah, don't make him an artist because he's not. Maybe he's good at something else.
Yeah, he's smart. He's very smart at knowledge, but for art. But I always tell him the truth. But so that's why when he got not a good age in art, he come home and he told Mom, you know that I'm not good at art, so that's why I told him to try to get A. Then he come home and I say, okay, you do your best, but you need to know like you need to improve because it's not good for you that in your age and then you still like that.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's a good point. Yes, not everybody. Not everybody is an artist,
Yeah.
so I am. Can you believe it? I cannot draw, but I can cut very fast. You tell me to cut the alphabet from A to Z, I can cut it for you, and then all even, and I can cut picture real fast. But tell me to draw, I cannot make it nice. So when I want something, I cut it first and I trace it. That's my way of doing it. So everybody is different. Yeah. So yeah, I believe that. So yeah, you tell them the truth, yes, but wait till a certain age. Yeah, but not criticize, but explain it to them. Okay, you see the line, you see this and that. I did discipline one guy because I know he's capable of doing that, but for the sake of power struggle, he will not do it. So I did something very, very bad one time, but to shut him up because I know he's very smart in every way, but he liked to try to see if I notice him. So he used a negative, how do you call that? The negative behavior to get my attention. I know that. After I work with him for a while, then I know. So we teach ABC or something, then I have a picture of it. Like, let's say learn an A. So I have apple, I have apron, everything. So instead of coloring nicely, he just scribbled from the top up. Give it to him. I said, no, try again. So I give him another sheet. I said, try again. You have to do in the line and something. He still won't do it. Give it to me. And so I saw his power struggle here. So I said, fine. Good. So the 11 kids, I have 12 kids. 11 other kids do it really well. And I hang it up. And I also hang his picture up too. I said, this is your ability. I'm sorry you look so. After I hang it up in the wall, and I said, look at the picture, which one do you like? And of course, everybody liked that. He didn't say a word. I said, mine. So that's the first time. The next week, the following week, and before I start, I said, are you going to try again today? So this time, they look at me and they think about it. Scribble through. I said, good. Give you a second chance, third chance. But the third chance, I warn him. You won't do the good thing this time. You don't color nicely in your ability. I don't expect you to do perfectly, but you do your ability. If you don't do it right, I'm going to throw it in that trash can. And he looked at me, are you there? I said, yeah, try. So it crumbled through. That was it. That week, he didn't have a picture to take home. He did. So I said, go ahead and go home and tell your mom. Tell your mom to come and talk to me. won't dare. Yeah, but you know what? He started when he was 2.5 years old, and he graduated when he's 5.5 years old. 3 years, he stick with me. He won't move. The teacher, the principal tried to move him to another class. He begged, no, I stay with Miss Ruth. I stay with Miss Ruth. Very, very struggling, very active. He acted very bad, but he demanded to stay with me. The principal moved him to the other class. He cried to death, crying back. And I go back to Miss Ruth, my name, when I go to work, Miss Ruth. Back to Miss Ruth. And the principal asked me, only you can train him. I said, fine. Stick him back with me. He stayed with me. One time he stole things from we have the box or gift for the children. Christmas, I will bring in a gift so we can give to the local, it's not a shoe box but something, just for the fire department. So the boxes was big. So I came in early and I saw in the box only one gift because the parent come in early. But later I saw that gift is in his cup. He stole it, took it, he stole that one. So I asked him, I said, is this yours? He said, yes. I said, no, it's not. It's in the box and I saw it. Okay? Now, you took the gift. I'm going to give you to the fire department. I took him out. Put him in that bin. He cried. I said, this is we give away. And you took it, so I have to give you away. But I dare to do that. Please don't do that. Because I know the parent trusts me and the parent asked me to help to straighten him up. But since then, he never dared to steal again. And after that, of course, I talked to him and I prayed with him. I work in a Christian preschool. So after that, I pulled him out and I explained it to him why. I did, and I prayed with him. And I asked him to pray first. And then I pray, even though they're non-Christian, but we pray with them every day so they know what praying means. So I pray that God will help to change him. After he graduated from preschool, now he's in the 2nd or 3rd grade in school. I still see his mom once in a while because she dropped off the niece and nephew. I asked him, how is he, the little boy? And the mom said, even though she's not Christian, I prayed for him. She said, I want to talk to you about him. I want to talk to the principal. And still come back and talk to us how to discipline him, how to help him, because it's that way. But anyway, that's make too long. I go off. Now, so is it necessary to discipline in class? Yes, good. So I asked why or why not, I don't think we have to answer because we know why or why not, okay? So, but we have to discipline I want to mention it, to certain level. Because remember, you're not the parent. You're not the mom and dad. You are the teacher. So you're here to train. You're here to teach, but you're not their parent. So certain things you cannot discipline them because you will step on the parent's area. So we don't. You can mention, but certain things I would think I will not do it, but I will mention to the parent. Like this little boy, I used for example, the mom came and talked to me many times, asked me to help to train him, to discipline him. That's why I dare to do those things, but I won't dare to do with other kids because the parent didn't ask me to do it. But with this parent, the mom come and talk to me many times and ask me to help. So I help them. Anyway, so no, yes, we discipline, but to certain level. And then if it's step over, we'll talk to the parent. But try not to do it right away. Like in the Sunday school class at that time, and you right away the parents sit in the center and you take the kid and give to the parent right away. Don't do that. Don't. Try to calm him down. Try to talk to the parent after. Because if you did that, both parent and kid will don't benefit anything, but you create more resentment. Okay, so now, how to manage a classroom effectively? So this is, I listed someone here. It's very easy, so I think I will say a few more words and then I'll ask you to suggest. Keep the class interested. Practice fairness. Practice humor. Do not threaten. Lead by example. Do not get angry. Give student opportunities. Do not humiliate and be alert. Thank you, sis. Yes. Okay. I'll try to say 5 more minutes.
No, come back to food now.
Yeah. So all these steps will help you to manage the classroom effectively. First thing, the kid always in their mind, you're not fair. You're not fair. So if the teacher's fair, they will love it. And keep the classroom interesting. I write this very short, but I want to ask you, maybe Megan later, she will help you with that. Engage the kid into the lesson. You know, you're the teacher, you're the helper. You have to prepare yourself for the lesson and then prepare yourself for taking that class. If you're not prepared, somehow when you walk in that class, the kids sense it right away. They will act up right away when you walk in without preparing. You know yourself. If you were busy, you work, you didn't prepare the lesson well enough or more than enough, you walk in that class, somehow you send a signal, the kid know right away. They detect it real fast. Today the teacher's not ready, I'm going to act it up. And then there's a chaos will stop. So, prepare yourself and keep the classroom interested. Give the class, the lesson, whatever they're interested, they will want to come back to your class, and they beg the parent to bring them back to the class because they learn something and they're interested in your lesson. So be flexible. You prepare the lesson, your Sunday school lesson, right? You prepared, you did. But if that day something happened to one of the child you noticed, or when you walk in that room you see something, feel free to put your lesson plan away, your classroom, do something else interesting. Get their attention. At the end, you can even you pray with them at that time. Only it's still helping them. Rather than you go through your lesson plan like the robot, they don't get a thing, and their time is wasted. So be flexible. Be prepared. Be flexible. You don't have to go through the whole lesson from A to Z. Maybe you just pick one point out of the lesson and work with them to help that one of the child in the class. So I love to be flexible. I'm very flexible, and I learned that. It will help a lot to manage your class. Be fairness. Practice humor. Have you ever practiced humor with your kid? I told my kid something funny right away when I walked in the room. Last Sunday, I went to church, I opened my trunk, all my Bible lesson, all my book, everything at home. I left it at home. Good thing I live only 2 miles away from the church. I drove back to get my everything because of what? Something funny happened. My husband bring the car to the garage, and he parked too far this way. I couldn't even get through with my 2 bags, for Sunday school for the kid and Sunday school for the adult and things. So I cannot get through. So I put the 2 bags down and I walk around and go through the garage door instead of through the house. And so I get into my car. My intent is when I open the garage door, I will bring that 2 bags and put in the trunk but I forgot the 2 bags, get in the car, back out and go to church. But while I'm backing out, I heard the popping noise. What is that? And I looked around. I ran over the bag without remembering. You remember? Can't believe it. But I heard the popping noise. And then I looked, I said, nothing. So I just go. When I came back home, I opened up the garage door and I saw my 2 bags. And I bought the chip for them because I get the mix for them to have snacks. I ran over this, so that's where it popped. Right away, I told the kid, I held up the bag. Even the pop is still, everything's still inside. Right? I told them, I said, you're going to eat the pop crackers today because I ran over. They looked at me, how do you do that? I said, yeah, I ran over that. So they ate it and they laughed and, so something fun. That's okay. So you practice that. Lead by example. Do not threaten. And then do not get angry. When you're angry, you show you're angry, you lose it. You lose it. Even they make you very angry, but stay calm. Stay calm. You're in control. Don't let them get angry and make you angry. Do not humiliate students. Don't make them feel bad. Because when you humiliated them, you lose your authority over them too. Be alert, that's what I say. So happy student, effective classroom. Discipline is not about getting students to do what you want them to do. Discipline is to provide a safe environment in which the positive teaching and learning can occur. Okay. Any question or any comments to add to this? Go ahead and say it. Or any question that whatever I say you don't get it? So, is it need to be disciplined in the class? Yes. Keep the class under control. Discipline, so now I would like you to think discipline is not punished. It's not punished. So you train the kid. And then when you build a relationship with them, when you build relationship with the kid, only one look, they know what you want. Only one look. So you know our eye is very powerful. When you look at somebody, they know, oops, that's a dirty look. I know I did something wrong. But when you look at somebody, if one look that says, Sheila, I did something wrong. Your eye is very powerful. And my principal, I worked with this principal for the school for almost 30 years, and she knows when the kid acting, especially the little boy that I said after, when he did something bad, I look at him and he stopped. I don't have to say a word. I just look at him, and so my principal said, you used to dirty look at him. I said, well, only Hien may know. When I look at him that way, he knows. And then I have another way of, when I hold hands with somebody, they know I be friendly with them or I discipline. Only the way I hold hands. I don't squeeze. When I hold nicely like this, they know I'm friendly. But when I'm holding their hand over here, they know they're in trouble. They know they're in trouble and I hold their hand. So they know. But I cannot leave mark or bruise it. I cannot abuse. No verbal abuse, no physical. Yeah. So sometimes just our words, that's why I said don't humiliate them. Sometimes we use our words so which they feel humiliated with verbal abuses. So please think it. And most of all, we have our God. Any circumstances that you cannot manage, pray. I give you another example. I have this boy. He's in a Christian family, but he went to art school. Very spoiled at home. Very spoiled. He's 3 years old. His birthday, he came to school, at preschool, to eat lunch together. So I'm sitting here, 12 kids, and he sits next to me. And he looked at me and he said, feed me. I said, no way. He asked me to feed him, because that's why my mom always feeding him at home. He said, feed me. I said, no. And you eat, whatever you can. He looked at me and I said, his name is Zachary. I know Zachary. He pushed his chair back. He yelled very loud, feed me. I just looked at him. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. So that's his second attempt, right? The first one he said small. So the third time he threw the chair. He said, feed me. And I still look at him and say, no. You hungry? You eat. So he cries a lot. I just let him. And I look at him, are you finished?
That's us.
Then he said, okay. So they sit down. Then he willing to sit down. But you know, he loved me to pieces. He still loves me till now. He graduated college already. And he's ready to go to ministry. But he's that type of kid, but you have to know who you are. And don't let them intimidate you either, but don't go, you know you do right. And then one time I remember, he is so ridiculous. Then I know, I pulled him aside and I said, Zachary, let's pray. And then he said, pray? I said, yes. You're going to pray first and I will pray after. So I pulled him out and I asked him to pray. Lord, he prayed. Dear Jesus, help me to obey the teacher. So he prayed, and I prayed also. So, but the following couple months, he started acting up again. I said, Zachary, you want to go pray again? Okay, Miss Ruth, okay, I know. Yeah. So I believe in God's power to change the kids. Even though they're non-Christian or they don't, all the children belong to Jesus, they don't know about Jesus. But we have Jesus, and that's our power, that's our source. When you don't know where to turn, don't know what to do, pray. He'll help you. He'll help you to be flexible. He'll help you how to know how to manage your class. And your love for the children, they're able to feel it. And they're able to thank for because you are their Sunday school teacher, you teach them about Jesus, you teach about Jesus' love, but first they have to feel the love from you first. Then Jesus' love will mean something to them. If they don't feel love from you, no matter what you teach about Jesus' love, they won't understand. They have to feel the love from you first, then they will understand how Jesus loves them. Okay? Any questions? Yes?
Thank you for reminding us about praying with them, when you pull them aside to talk to them. And but you've given 2 examples where you basically, the way that you do this is you have them pray first. Have they ever said no?
I haven't faced that yet, but some kid doesn't know how, then I help. But I ask them. I ask, can I help you pray? You can repeat after me. Because like I said, I work in a preschool, so a lot of them are non-Christian families. So they don't have the habit. Zachary, the little guy, I said he came from the Christian families, then he know how to pray. But the kid from the non-Christian one, I will ask them, can I help you pray? And then I say, whatever we want. Then he repeat after me, and then after that I pray.
So I have a question. In my church, so every month the kids have to memorize a verse, and I do Bible recital. I always prepare the prize for them. But before I do recital, I always email parents. A week before that, I remind or I do Bible recital for the children. But there's still many kids don't memorize the Bible. So that's why I just give the prize for who memorize the verse. I don't give for the one. So some parents complain and tell me that the God love for everyone. If you give to the kids, you have to give everyone. You shouldn't give for the one, just memorize. But for me, the purpose, I do Bible recital. I want them to memorize. So it's right or wrong. I still present.
That's right, because you have to explain to the parent. Christmas, you give everybody gifts, right? Christmas, or
Yeah, right.
then you give. But this is, you tell them to recite the Bible. If you don't memorize, you don't get it. You don't get it. So what's the point if you memorize and you give and the one memorize you give too? So what's the point? So this is your reward to them, and then you make it clear, make it very clear. You can do it like a wall. If your church have place, you can make a wall, like how you call incentive. If they memorize, you give them a sticker until they finish it, they get the reward. I remember you remember that. I taught them. Yes. In Sunday school, I was her Sunday school teacher before, and can I share something about you? I remember she has a sister, it's twin. I never remember their name. It looks so much alike, but I know Carissa and Theoni, so I just call one and then let's see who answers me. Because I don't remember their name. Is that good or bad? That's bad. That's no good. I feel so bad. I feel bad. Until now, I still cannot tell them apart. Because now I have a good excuse that I don't live closer to them. But before I see them every week, and I teach in Sunday school too, still I can't remember their face. I have to work so hard. Okay, Theoni, Carissa. I try to find some difference between them, so it helped me to remember. So I'm sure, but then when I'm sitting in that classroom with that, they talk, and then, I forgot who was Teresa, who was Theoni. I forgot right away, so that's not a good thing to do. That's my bad. I've used some bad example like that for you. So you have to know the kids, and you have to build a relationship with them, and I hope they me. They still say hi to me, so I think I'm not that bad. Okay. Yeah, that's good. So it's like I said again, it's not the matter of you want them to do what you want them. Of course you want, but it's not really a must. Like you teach at Sunday school, so that's to teach and train, but you don't have to exactly get the point to lay Jesus' resurrection. Each one of them have to know that. That's not what you want. You want them to build relation and learn, and slowly they will learn and they will get it. Okay? Anything else? I hope I make it clear enough for you to see the point. Classroom discipline. Any experience? Megan, want to add some? No. Experience or to give example your experience in the class? Train up a child away with yourself. You want to get out early or you want to? Any more questions? Okay. It's another one I want to mention. Keep your words. Lead by example. Keep your words. Don't ever have an empty threat and also empty promise. You have to keep your words. If you forgot, you promised them something and you forgot, you will say, I'm sorry, I will do it next time. Don't ever use the empty threat, because sooner or later they will not trust you anymore. Oh, they just say it, but they don't do it. So empty threat and empty promise, those are two things we try to avoid. Of course we forgot, but we'll try. And then I learned that I forgot a lot because it's this age, I forgot too. As soon as I walk out of the church, I forgot what I promised them. And then on the way back, I remember. So I told one of the kids in the class, the girl that's 12 years old, I said, can you help me? If I forgot something, remind me. So she's the one that reminded me what I promised to. And then I asked her to be my helper too, I have a box of crayon and they're all broken, and I said, okay, I have to buy a new one. Okay, I have to buy a new one. All the way, I forgot. I opened the box, it's still broken. I said, Holy, help me to remind me, okay? And then afterwards she asked, you want me to buy it? She said, okay, you can help me buy it to replace it instead of me, because I have so many things I forgot. Then, from then, I see she offered, and I see that's a good point in her. From then, I asked her to help me, to remind me. Anything she able to do it, help me to do it too. So you can find kids like that in your life, to be your helper. if you don't have a helper. Then the helper help the teachers. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. Can we close in a word of prayer? I will ask Bảo Sư Cường help to pray for closing. Help us to retain something that we learned today and help us to apply it to life.
Chúa Giêsu giáo cho chúng con trong ngày hôm nay, Chúa biết chúng con cần điều gì ở trong đời sống của chúng con và đặc biệt trong chức vụ của chúng con. Con cảm ơn Chúa vì sáng nay Chúa đưa đầy tớ của Chúa đến đây để giúp đỡ chúng con trong vấn đề classroom discipline. Xin Chúa cho chúng con nhớ được những điều này và có thể áp dụng được trong chức vụ thầy cô giáo từ những việc cho các con em của chúng con tại địa phương mà Chúa đang đặt để trong lòng của chúng con trong cảm ơn Ngài. Xin Chúa chúc phước trên chúng con và hướng dẫn chúng con từ hồi từ lúc để chúng con trở nên một cô giáo, thầy giáo với như Chúa muốn chúng con để chúng con truyền đạt lời của Chúa, tình yêu của Chúa đến cho các con em của chúng con trong cảm ơn Ngài. Xin Chúa chúc phước trên bà mục sư và giúp cho bà được ơn càng ngày càng thêm để có thể tiếp tục giúp chúng con trong những tháng ngày sắp tới. Con cảm ơn Chúa thật nhiều. Nguyện Chúa bao phủ chúng con ngày hôm nay phần còn lại để chúng con có sức của Chúa, chúng con tiếp tục học hỏi trong cơ hội mà Chúa đang ban cho chúng con. Con cảm ơn Chúa và hết lòng cầu nguyện Ngài. In the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you for